Good morning, traders. Who's ready to bounce back with me? Had a little bit of some red action, of course, in the day trading prop account, but we'll keep battling here. We got Moo, of course, small account, keep going up. I might look to take a trade. Who knows? Could be in a firm. I saw some news with Amazon. Let's talk about that on live trading. Let's take a look into the action in the market. There's a lot going on. Hit the like. Let's get it started. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, traders, let's bring on the boys. We got Ryan Faluno. We got Zunaid in the house. How we doing, guys? Who's ready to get back to the market?
Let's do it.
Ready. Born ready. New day, new way.
It's been a tough time lately with me and the prop account. Definitely got hit yesterday and just trying to battle, but it isn't going well since my mistake on Friday. And that's just easily how one mistake can really start knocking you off your game, right? And I think it's very important to talk about this. There's so many traders that don't talk about this, right? Aren't willing to admit when they make mistakes. The truth is, the better you get at losing, the better you get at winning, team. That's the truth. And I think that this is very, very important, is that you can't run away from losing. You can't start trying to make excuses. You just have to do what has happened, what is in your control, out of your control, and how can I get back to my process to land into the green? This is a very important conversation because the truth is that you are going to go through struggles. You are going to make a mistake. 100%. There's no perfect trader. And if you see a trader that says they haven't lost, tell them to go screw off because they probably aren't trading anyways. Now, this is where I think it's very important to come in and do what? Keep things simple, right? Get back to what you know how to do. Stick to a recipe, stick to what has worked in the past, and you just might fall back into the green probability. The key is always not trying to ruin that profit and loss ratio. And that's what have been doing in the prop account that has been knocking me off my game, right? Is changing it up because I took a big hit on a mistake order. I ended up increasing risk to reward, and that has now gotten me in a little bit of a rut. I have to go ahead and find my way out of this. We'll see if I'm able to do so today. All right, I'm going to kick it to Ryan. I won't talk too much about my charts, but just want to really quickly at least review Moo. Definitely continuing to climb up. Going to look to see if I can get some affirm today. It's already towards 1837. I really love that pullback to 1750s in the pre-market. Just wasn't able to get it, but we're looking pretty good, guys. We're up to 593s. I want to get into the 600 and see if I can get into 20% higher in this account and keep pushing up. We'll see what happens there. Kicking it to you, my friend Ryan.
You're on mute, pal.
You're on mute.
Yep, sorry about that. First thing we're going to take a look at here is the SPY, and it sure looks like this is trying to break out here and take the next leg up. We'll see if it ends up getting that. If it clears out the top of the candle from June 5th, that high is going to be 429.67. I think that probably gives us a little bit of juice. Let's see if we trade up to that trend line here. As far as some stocks here, I took a small starter on a swing yesterday in my main account. Boy, I don't know what's happening here. There we go. Pure Storage. So this high and tight flag, this actually reminds me a little bit of IMGN. So I'm actually looking for this to push into the 35s and maybe even higher here. So just a starter position, really only 100 shares at the moment. We'll add if this comes back and holds, but we'll see on Pure Storage. This is one I'm carrying into today. Had a question here from, let me see if I can get it. Robert was asking about CPB. asking why Campbell's Soup is trading lower after the earnings were really not that bad. Robert, I think what's going on here is that it's the guide, right? So they see net sales growth of 8.5 to 10%, adjusted EPS of 295 to 3 versus the 301 estimate. So looks like a slightly lower guidance figure, and that's likely why Campbell's is actually trading down here today. We're down about 7.5%. So let's see if Campbell's bounces at all. The other news that Mitch briefly spoke about was going to be Affirmed. We got this here in the pre-market today. Amazon Pay customers are now able to use Affirmed. So Affirm and Amazon obviously working together here. Sorry, let me take care of my sound here. Affirmed and Amazon working together. So that's actually causing Affirmed to trade up here. Oops, that changed again. That's actually causing Affirm to trade up here today. We'll see if we get any type of squeeze effect. If we take a look at the 1 minute chart here, you can see, as Mitch was talking about, it popped up here, came back down to that 1750 level, and really has kind of risen. So let's see if we take the top off here and run on Affirmed. I don't like this company. I don't like the whole concept of buy now, pay later, especially as the consumer continues to weaken and the economy continues to weaken. But we'll see that just because I don't like it doesn't mean that it can't actually have a day here today. Now let's take a look at the movers tool and see what we have on deck here for today. First one's going to be Farm, ticker FARM, Frank Alpha Romeo Michael. We did have a news catalyst here. Looks like they had a PR this morning. Farmer Brothers announces agreement to sell direct ship business to Northlake, Texas facility to Treehouse Foods. So it looks like they're selling a facility here. That's causing the stock to trade up. Looks like we actually made a high here about 346. We've come off that a little bit, but we're stopping at the VWAP. So this is actually really, really encouraging for a potential long side trade. Let's see if we end up getting that. I'm going to mark off a couple more of these levels here. We'll see where Farm gets during the course of the day today. CJET, we're having some more movement here on CJET. We did pop as high. Let me go ahead and mark the top of this off as well. We have popped as high as 619. Again, we've kind of come back to the VWAP. We'll see if we're able to actually move through this VWAP and continue to push up on CJET. This one's been kind of wild recently. So, by the way, Affirm did take that top off and immediately pulled back. So we'll see how that goes when the market opens. Next here is going to be FRGT, and this is Freight Technologies. They also had a PR here. Freight app announces a new integration with Samsara to enhance real-time freight tracking. You can see that actually popped FRGT here to the highs. We've really kind of come back here, so this is really going to need to set up before we take a long side trade here. We'll see. Oops, did the wrong drawing there. Sorry about that. So this 165 area certainly looks to be the next spot. We'll see if it can actually get back up and take out some of these shoulders. I've got one at 155, and then I have some former support here at about 137. We're extended away from the VWAP, so maybe we get a regression back to the mean as this trades back up to the VWAP. We're going to wait for the market to open to take a look at that. SVRE is the next one, ticker SVRE. This is Saver One. This also had a news catalyst here today. This was yesterday in the after hours session, so we're seeing some continuation here today. Saver One expands its relationship with Isuzu importer to Israel. Additional 40 installations of driver distraction prevention solutions ordered from Isuzu trucks. So this is popping here again this morning. I'm not sure how great this PR actually is, to be quite honest. So we'll see if this ends up holding and producing a trade for us today. We'll be sure to watch relative volume on that. AVRO, another one on the list here this morning. I don't think I saw anyone talking about this one in the chat here, but this actually flagging pretty nicely. Let's see if we can take this double top off at 128, maybe break through 130 on AVRO. We talked about Affirm a little bit already. I'll leave the rest here for Mitch. We can talk about RNAS here. Let me see. This is Transcode Therapeutics. They had a huge move yesterday, retraced all of the moves. So let's see today if we get any type of bounce or any type of move up here on RNAS. If we do, maybe it gets crazy like yesterday. And then another one, we did have Palantir through 16, and then Mevis. We talked about this one yesterday. Mevis here, this looking like this is holding, and we'll see if we can actually get through the 750 here. So this would definitely be one to watch here. Let me see, where's my horizontal? My drawing tools keep shifting around on me here. So 760 going to be your high. We're right by the VWAP. Let's see if this pushes away. Zunaid, what do you got for the group here this morning?
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Carvana. Thank you for the switch. Taking a look at the pre-market high. Should be blown off the top at 1545. If it does come back to test the 15s, I'd be interested in this one. Tried to play it yesterday, but it didn't quite stabilize itself over 15. But that's what we've got at the moment. I believe we can also possibly draw a clean little trend line there happening in the past couple of days. So that's what we've got on ticker CVNA. If you will recall, I still have the 104 calls expiring this week. We did go ahead and touch 104, so those went in the money. We got them around $100 or so. So it was nice to see. So my small account challenge is where I have that one contract, and that contract I purchased for about 57 cents. It was worth about $122. Excuse me, about $58, and it was worth about $122. What I'm looking to do is be selfish and just kind of hold in hopes. Yep, that's right. A little bit of hopium that it'll blow off of the 104 and then possibly go to like the 106s, 108s, 110s, or 110s, excuse me, so that I can go ahead and get back in the game with the small account challenge. But we'll see how this all plays out today. Depending on where it ends today, I might go ahead and close it or keep it on going on for a little bit of a move to the upside. So just an update on that. But if it goes ahead, and one thing that I did want to mention is we talk about support resistance so many times, and here's another example of it. This is a 15-minute chart on WIN, ticker WYNN. You can see 101.50s has been resistance once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Then when it finally goes up on the 15-minute chart, it comes back to test that exact same point. The low of this candle that I'm touching right now is 101.51. So by to a penny, if you will, it comes back and tests that resistance area, which then becomes support, and then you blast off to the upside. Here you can see the volume increasing, right? So here's your test, much lower volume than the first two candles that are green, and then the pop up and the blast off is much higher, and that's where you kind of get that move all the way to 104. So just another example of support turning into resistance on this one. Let's go ahead and check out a couple of other stocks here. D-Dog, as soon as this one, again, tested 100. Matter of fact, I didn't even mean to do this, but here's another example. You had resistance 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally popped up, held a support. Then yesterday, the day of, test 100, blast off for about $3. So that's another move where support turns into resistance. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. You've got a nice little move here that happened in the after hours. I'm not sure what the reason was. I apologize, but you do have that nice little move. Let's go ahead and check out Unity. We talked about this level of the 34.59. That one is clearly holding a support. So if you're looking to buy Unity here, it's kind of in this range for me, which is 38.51 and 34.50s. So depending on which way it wants to go ahead and pop off, I'd be interested in it. Of course, this was moving on the news of working with Apple. I don't know if that was confirmed or just rumored, but nonetheless, if it's stabilizing like this, I believe there could be some backing to it. But that's what I've got. 38.51 to the
confirmed,
upside.
Zunaid.
Thank you. Appreciate that. 34.60s to the downside. So definitely something to keep an eye on, especially if we do get unusual options in this ticker, which I haven't seen that much in general. So when you see big money back in it, I think it's worth a couple of bucks from me. Let's go ahead and check out Coinbase. I wanted to short this one off of $50. I did go ahead and get chopped around because it did not want to quite drop on it. But you can see once again how the resistance of $50 here. You had resistance popped up, held support, moved to the upside. You can see how the resistance ended up being support on Coinbase as well. So once again, if you're looking to go short Coinbase on the SEC worries or whatever else you've got worried about, you got to break that $50. You can see resistance already at 55. So if you're trying to go up top here, maybe if you wanted to short it real quick for a risk of about $1 or so, $55 could be your resistance point to go short. Maybe try to take profits around 54.50s or so with a stop loss of 55.50 crack to the upside. Let's go ahead and check out some of Disney here. Hasn't quite reached any of the levels that I have out there, so we're going to leave that one alone for now. NVIDIA, let's go ahead and check that out. We'll get to Affirm here in a second as well. been kind of coming down as soon as it, it touched the 420 standpoint and has been coming down ever since, if you will. But it's only been a few days trying to figure out what it wants to do. Let's see if we can get a bit of a trend line drawn here. There you go. So that's from the high a day, or excuse me, high a day on the 30th of May. And then that's the trend line that we're following. So it'd be interesting to see if we actually, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can. Go ahead and short around 389s, 389.89s, and see if we can get a move there. Might have to risk $100 though to kind of, matter of fact, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna risk 100 to make 100. That way we give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. And of course, as always, we'll let you know if this does get filled. But the reason I'm taking this trade is just because of the trend line. I'd like for that third test to kind of be rejected again. Maybe at least give us $1 of a move. And then maybe we do get a pop to the upside, especially depending on how the market itself behaves. Speaking of the market here, the Qs, you can see that we had found some support yesterday around the same area where we had pre-market support a day ago at around 353. And once this goes ahead and breaks, you've got about 352 that's held on as support as well. You can see resistance right here on the left-hand side, which held on as support on the right-hand side. So this is what I've got on the Qs itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at Meta. That level of 369.03 has still not been broken. Matter of fact, I think I can move this up just a little bit, but you've also got, so it's like this area here, right? For support, it's this area here is what I've got. So you've got resistance right here, popped up, held at support as it reclaimed quite quickly, and then support, support, support. So if it kind of breaks this 370, 369 area, I think you can see a move to the downside on ticker META. And of course, to the upside, I think it's kind of clean where it's 276 or so to the upside is where you would go ahead and get that move. Dave said watching GME for a move. Okay, well, it's been a minute since I've heard that, but there's a little pop. I'm not sure what the news is.
Tonight, baby.
Maybe they're working with the firm as well, but as Mitch mentioned, you've got earnings there, so feel free to play that one if you'd like. It's been moving up nicely for the past few days. But yeah, definitely not something that, matter of fact, I'm just for fun. Let's just see where AMC is. Where do you think AMC is priced, Mitch? Take a wild guess, and then Ryan, you can do it after him.
I don't know, $5.
$5, Ryan.
$6.
$6. It is currently at 472.
No lie, I looked at it. I didn't guess. I was like, it has to be down below 5, right?
How are you gonna say you looked at it, then guess $5?
No,
and
I
then
did
say,
it.
oh,
I did
not
it
bad.
as I was turning to it. As I was turning to it. It was like I said 5, and I was like, oh, and I see 472. I'm like, oh. Almost.
All right, we'll give you that one. But nonetheless, if it gets over 5, it could get
I like GME, though. I'm not going to lie. I like GME today. I know that you think that might be not in play. I think the opposite a little bit. I think there's people just looking for anything to squeeze, right?
I think Carvana is the better way to go. I think Carvana.
I think 100%
better than GME. But again, let's see how things play out itself here.
And anything really with growthy names, why not, right? I mean, Affirm, Upstart, look at those charts. I'm with you. Carvana too falls in that range, right? There's plenty of stocks here. Look for stocks that were thought as zombies and are coming back.
Yeah.
Good luck, folks. Here we go.
Here we go. Go ahead and smash the like button for us. What I'm going to do is also keep an eye on this trend line, because if we do come here, matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Carvana. What the? All right. Apparently I did go ahead and, all right. Well, let's see how this trend line thing works out. Here's NVIDIA. I am short. It's testing the trend line now. Well, you can see it right there. This will be interesting to see if it just blows through it or if it comes right back down. But I am short trend. I am short trend line. LOL. I am short NVIDIA. Not the greatest position. I could have probably tried to do a little better there, but are you just gonna pop off?
Farm first move here is down. Affirm coming back in here a little bit.
Yeah, just nowhere near enough for me, at least on a firm. That would need to come back to 1750s or 17. I can't buy it up here on the VWAP. It's at 803 on VWAP. I can't do it up here. I feel like it's a little bit too far already, but it could keep running. Let's just be honest. All right, let's see what happens today, guys. We'll see if we're able to bounce back. At least I need to bounce back a little bit today. Just gotta stay focused.
Mevis breaking through the highs here and going higher. So
Okay.
this was a Becca special. Nice job, Becca. Are you still in this? This one ripping here on Mevis.
Yeah, and so with that one being said, I also like QS, QuantumScape.
All right, so much for my trend line. That one did not work out for us. Take a L there. What was I about to do? I forgot.
I really got to look at ExxonMobil. I had a swing trade on there that I got to go ahead and add here and then maybe try to manage it. Definitely don't want to see it get through 108s today. This is kind of the resistance that I was looking for it to turn around at the 107.26 area. Doesn't look too bad right now. Keep an eye on ExxonMobil.
Yext is going. Good call there, Lon. Yext is moving up here. MOBQ for you penny players. That is spiking here out of the gate. 32 highs. Actually, I think that was 33 highs. Yeah, 33 highs on MOBQ. Firm might be setting up for a bounce here right around 18. See if it breaks down. No position infirmed. Don't trust that one at all.
All right, 107.84s will get me out today. I just added there to that XOM. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of just watch to see if it goes to the next level.
Farm, nice little bounce off the 290s there. Bouncing back to the VWAP, but unable to get through it yet here. $8 on Mevis. Nice job. It's all over the place. Big yank after that push to 8.
BWO. Vanguard Emerging Markets. Giving me a little bit of a lift on the day. This actually doesn't look too bad, guys. An ETF, Emerging Markets ETF.
A firm bouncing here, 1815s. Pure Storage, my play from yesterday. Nice little rip out of the gate here. Love to see this. Would love to take 36s if we could get that on Pure Storage here. Again, looking at this particular trade. Switched my chart. Someone was asking about AKTX earlier. I think that was Ruslan. This looks like a really kind of a dead chart here. This is just a 16-cent penny stock. Looks like it's really at the bottom. I don't see anything going on here. Maybe if it gets volume, but otherwise I don't really see anything. Taking a look at Pure Storage here, really like to see the continuation. If we break the high of this candle, I would look for some more here on Pure Storage. So that's working. Mevis back to 750, by the way.
QS taking a little bit of a dip with that pullback in NVIS. Show you guys that one right there. So looking around, team, to see what's trading today. Let's go to the Explore tab. Right now, I see Elon Musk, of course. Tesla did have some news. How's Tesla moving right now? It is catching a little bit of a bid there. Got back towards the 228s. Can it hold 228s on pullbacks right now? Something interesting to look at. But Tesla trying to move higher here. It's almost to the 240s, man. This has been a big move from around 160. All right, looking around to see what I can find, man. A lot going on. I'm just trying to find a nice trade or two. Marvell is definitely on my radar. It's pulling back a significant amount. Just needed to come back a little bit further, and then maybe I could take a little bit of a shot on this one. But you can see it's finding some bottom right now around 6170s, and now coming back, trying to come back through 62s. I would like a little bit of an attempt down towards like 61s, 50s, but it already made a nice little pop.
Complete
coming
side
back
note.
to 62.
Where is there we go. Thank you. The complete side note has nothing to do with stocks, but looks like there's rumors that Messi's going to come to the MLS. That'll be interesting.
Yep, Inter Miami.
Yeah. Are we going to be able to outbid the Saudis?
Highly doubt that, but I don't see Messi as a type that will go over there. But I mean, you've seen how they've been paying up.
Money.
He does want his last contract, right? But if he goes to the MLS, it'll be easy for him to just ball out for another 10 years.
I mean, yeah, he'd also, I assume he's going to do what Beckham did and take revenue share and different things like that and stake in the company and whatnot. I haven't really had a chance to look into it, but I think that's what Beckham did. That's how he was able to make so many dollars. Oh, what in the world? I totally missed this one. Darn.
QBTS going here.
Liking this pullback in Marvel here off 62, but
Wasn't there news that the report might have been false?
I don't know. It was reported by Bloomberg. So I'll kind of stick with it that I believe in it.
I'm going to go ahead and test out a little bit of Carvana here at 1563s.
Just trying to hang on right now with 61.71 as support. I wanted to test one more time, create this kind of like third bottom, and then come back. This would be like a 5-minute closing on kind of a little bit of a harmy here at 61.71. Looking at Marvel to see if it's going to reverse back to the upside. How's the Qs overall here? Qs are holding up, but could pull back here. SPY is looking like it wants to get through 429.10. Leading stocks today: energy, technology, and cyclical.
QBTS trying to go here, no position.
Okay, taking a little bit of a starter here on Marvel. Going to hold off the 61.50s here.
Farm going. Pushing through that VWAP on farm. Yext continuation. Nice move out of the gate on Yext. Farm 320s. Farm continuing here. Big, nice little push there on farm.
Looking to see if this can bottom out Marvel and start making its way back to VWAP. Got a little starter there. Average is at 61.98. Buying a little more. Just got 62.02 now.
On which stock, Mitch?
Marvel.
Is that which screen?
Prop account.
Okay,
Gotcha
sorry.
here. No worries. It's just too much going on. It's just how it is now. Let's see if this can get back above the 62. So I'm doing it off the 1 minute kind of bottoming action here on the 61.80s. Just trying to see if we can come back up there towards that 63.38. That would be a really nice move here. All right, getting a little bit of a pullback here. Through 47s, I'll probably just get out. Let's see if it can hold here. Just wicking right there at the 47. Could do a little bit of a wick test.
Hello.
Hello. All right, right now, LiDAR concepts doing well. Broadcasting doing well. Oil and gas, entertainment, coal, Elon concepts, EV chargers, ChargePoint doing decent, EV Go doing decent. Yex, small name, Stitch Fix, Play, CJet, $5 name that's moving in. That looks like a China name, but I'm not sure. And SVRE. All right, now getting a little bit of a bounce there in Marvel. We'll see if this can go higher. Back to 61.90s here. How's the Qs doing? Qs just bounce off of VWAP.
First move was up and it kind of stopped there.
SPY made a nice move. It's almost to 430s.
All right, here's what I did. By Carvana equity, I went ahead and took like a 3-cent gains, but then I also went ahead and purchased. Started with a couple of Carvana $15 calls expiring this week. I am going to add, depending on how this candle closes and where we go, but my stop loss is going to be at approximately 85 cents. So risking about 30, 35 cents.
BTS at 250. Sorry, Zunaid.
You're good. 30, 35 cents is a risk on Carvana contracts. In a perfect world, I'd love for us to buy it around here. I'll go ahead and share my charts just for a sec. Thank you. So this is where we currently are. I'd love for us to kind of try to purchase it here because then you got the trend line support and then you've also got the $15 hold number as well. So you can see 1 touch, 2 touch, 3s. But we shall see. We shall see.
All right, now looking good. Marvell testing down here for my risk. Going to give it a second here at the 63s, but if it goes through 50 again, I'm out.
Shorting Mullen on the day. All right. What is it at? In the quarters? In the quarters? Is it a quarter?
GME pulling back here, looking interesting for me as it pulls back on an hourly. Now has hourly resistance. I'm going to see if it becomes support here. 2540s is the level. It just bounced off of 42, so it doesn't seem too bad. I'm thinking about GME to the upside today.
By the way, if Tesla does get anywhere near 221.31s, I think that's a good entry. I will be looking to trade it there on a bounce off. You can see the resistance there turning into support. And it's also the previous close. Yeah, this looks nice.
QBTS through 250 now, up to 256. Not in that. Little late to that one, switching back to it, unfortunately. The QBTS,
Carvana,
nice move here off the bottom.
Carvana to the upside. Almost knocking on the doors of 16.
See if I get stopped out in Marvell. I already set the stop there to get me out if needed. So I'm focusing on GME now.
QBTS 258. Nice trade there on QBTS.
Q's going higher here. So they're continuing that strength. Stocks leading the Q's. GFF, Dollar Tree having a decent day. O'Reilly's pushing higher. MCHP, Google, I saw mentioned in the chat. Nice move there. NVIDIA moving higher. Apple moving higher. Nice push there in Apple. Now towards 180.26. This might be the day that it closes right back towards all-time highs. We'll see what happens. Catching the 9 EMA right now.
Carvana 5 cents away from tapping 16.
Roku continuing to make highs. Roku real strong this morning. 120 new highs here this morning.
Yeah, with Roku moving, I want to grab a little bit of ZM. You can see it's pretty strong today already. This is one that I'm thinking about a swing trade for start swing trade. I've talked about this multiple times. I see Kathy Wood getting stronger. And Roku is one of those names that I was looking at. Now that's pushing strong. Netflix helping that also. Netflix stronger. I keep an eye on those Kathy Wood names. They really can take off here. Roblox is another one that's kind of sleepy that I feel like it could have a good move today.
PLTR pounding the highs. That was a Kathy Wood name. 1650s here on PLTR. QBTS continuing to go. Boy, I missed that one.
Unity
right.
high.
Out on Marvell. Marvell got me out there on that 6150 move. Affirmed bottom. Let's see. Where's it at? I just didn't like that move that much. It didn't seem like an opportunity for me, but it is coming back to the upside. GME is the one that I'm looking at right now to maybe take a shot. All right, I like that action here. I'm going to get a starter here. Starter on GME to the upside. It's in the
Carvana
profit count.
1602s. Carvana 1602s hitting new highs. The contracts we purchased at about $1.16 are now going for about $1.36. Feel free to do what you'd like. My entry, I'm looking for a re-entry, by the way, around 1550s on the equity side. No clue if I'll get it, but that's where I've got things going on. We are in the contracts, though.
Mob Q looking like a pullback to the VWAP, maybe a retry at the highs there. We'll see if that works. Stitch Fix, this is raging after earnings here this morning. QBTS still going up.
All right, seeing GME prop a little bit here, trying to focus on that one. Just grabbed a little bit there in the prop account. Trying to see some big bidding action come in here. It's looking strong here. I'm thinking about adding already, but just want a little bit of a pullback below my entry to add. GME trying to work that position here, team. I just got a little started there. Trying to see if this can really take off. U is running up, says Wally. Boom, Unity.
Yeah, we talked about that one hitting highs.
There's a little bit of a prop up on GME already to 2580. So pullbacks to my entry, I definitely will add. Just looking to see if I can get that pullback.
Affirm crossing 19s.
Affirm highs. Nice job, whoever's trading affirmed.
Trying to grab a little bit of pullback fill here for GME.
Yeah, I saw that stock vision.
There you go. Just got that position filled there at 2568. GME now 200 shares.
Oh, wow. Beautiful move. Look at that. Carvana new highs. Dun, 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 dun.
Carvana.
Farm might be bouncing here again. Looks like it kind of came back down to the same support level. Trying to move off this level. We'll see. Coming back down through 3 here.
No bueno on the orange juice.
It wasn't good today? Your orange juice was spoiled?
No, it's just
You brush your teeth first?
no. The wife got me Florida Natural.
You might have to have a talk. Honey, we have a talk. We have some things to talk about.
Florida Natural. Ew. It's like Tropicana. This is gross, bro.
That trend line move that we wanted on NVIDIA on the short side, it didn't work, obviously, but then it did go ahead and come back and test that trend line here. Thank you for moving the charts. And it went ahead and held and bounced right back up. So the trend line was there as good guidance. It just was not strong enough to stop it and reject it and have it coming right back down.
All right, guys, trying to add here on GME as it keeps going higher, looking for pullbacks to add. That's what I'm going to keep trying to do. But of course, it is climbing its way. So looking great in this one, at least now, as it starts to work its way to 84. Want to see a big pop at 26 as it makes a move back above the VWAP. We'll see what happens.
Let me know if you heard this one before. Carvana new highs. Come on. Let's go.
There you go, baby. At least one thing that I like about that Zunade is that you were focused on your stock. You stayed on your stock, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yep, I've been kind of flipping around between stocks, which has caused me to miss things like QBTS here today. Dan, good to see you. Dan saying, farm, I didn't want it to lose the low of the day. Now good for a small risk reward at the 200-day moving average. Nice stuff there.
And of course, now GameStop making its move. Let's see if I can get it to 26. Didn't get that last ad there. That's okay too. See if this could really start popping now. The big thing for me on GME is that, let's just be honest, are the Reddits and the out there, they're looking at this? Hell yeah, they're looking at this now. That's why I'm trying to play it. I'm trying to see if they can come in here and just drive this thing higher. Maybe help my prop account turn around. We'll see it.
D-Dog.
The D-Dog, that's what destroyed me. I hate that stock. You don't even want to bring that stock up anymore. It's on the ban list.
It was fun to play the stock during the COVID days, but I haven't played it since. Where are the COVID days? Way back when.
Yeah, I made that mistake buy on it.
Because I think they had earnings and it popped up. Here it is. Matter of fact, this is exactly it. It was this earnings. Made a beautiful amount of money on it.
Got the 2604 there, and it turned right back around on GME. So we'll see if it can get back above the 26. Very important level to actually hold.
Still kind of watching farm here. It's holding 3. It's doing a decent job of holding 3. See if we can get back to the VWAP at 308.
All right, let's see if GME can push above 26, and then I'll look for pullbacks that try to keep adding. I want to just try to size into this eventually. Just trying to slowly work it, though.
Trying a little farm here at 303. Stop at 298 if it breaks down beneath 3. I'm going to have a really quick stop on this. This is the main account, so I can always rebuy it if it curls, but I want to see a move back towards that VWAP and through it. We'll see if we get it here on farm. SPR, Spirit Aero Systems, getting a pop here. A rumor of possible management takeover. I think it was Elliott Management.
Which one?
SPR.
SPR.
Screen. Yeah, 2850 because it'd be a nice support area if it does want to come back and test on that news.
Yeah, Elliott Management pushes things, so I would watch for this.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of things.
That was a squawk, by the way. So shout out to the Benzinga squawk. Someone was asking what that is earlier. That's an audio news feed that reads breaking news as it's present. It's actually really helpful to be able to take advantage of news with a different sense, using your ears instead of your eyes.
Yep.
Farm back down to 3 here. Definitely don't want it to lose 3. Low a day is 290. And breakdown beneath 3 here. So farm looks like this is pulling back here. See if we get a bounce right back to 3. Didn't stop out there, but worried about this really knifing. Really needs this push here soon. Some more buyers showing up in farm. We'll see if this ends up pushing.
I like how GME's propping for a nice 26 move here. Might add a little bit more.
Brought in a bid there on farm as they're trying to walk it up. And right back down. Here we go. Trying again. We're coming to the VWAP here on farm. If we can move through that VWAP, maybe we get a bigger pop. Back up to the VWAP here on farm and through. Let's see if we can keep pushing here on farm, or if we just come right back down to the entry. Here we go on farm. Here we go. Nice up to 314 there. That's good.
Let me put your subs up. Sorry.
You got 327 was that other recent high where it stopped. Let's see if we can get to the 320s here. They're bringing bids in under it, so maybe this is the bounce we're waiting for.
Bouncy, bouncy.
Crow saying farm is an easy VWAP buy. We actually just moved through that VWAP, so let's see if we get some more push here, Crow.
Farm packaged foods.
I'm gonna try quick little lotto play, risky side. 232.50 calls on Tesla expiring this week. I got filled at 284. It's currently
I'm gonna take farm off here. Nice little $60 gain on farm. Might go higher, but I just want to start the day off here with a win. We'll see if it yanks back. Keep farm on the radar. I am out. Nice little gain to start the day here.
All right, just added one more time. The GME average for me is 25.76. Looking for the 26 run.
Again, for me, the Tesla contract that I'm in only one, is the 232.50 calls expiring this week on Tesla. Got filled at 284. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go buy another one here, which makes my average price 280s. 280s on the 232.50 calls on Tesla.
SPR back to the highs here, so that's still moving off those off that rumor.
All right, just to limit the loss in case things come against me on GME. So what I'm doing is already setting a stop limit here. I set it down there towards 25.69 with a 68 out. But looking to see if GME can break above 26, right? It's either going to give me that move or it could come back right to my entry. And I'm going to risk a tiny, tiny bit for a big gain here. If it breaks 26 and goes to 26.75, I'll have a huge gain. And if it comes back, it'll be a really, really tiny stop out. That's what I'm trying to do.
All right. On Tesla, you've got it coming to VWAP here is the reason that I wanted to go ahead and get in. Now, again, keep in mind, these are, high risk trades here. If it does go ahead and get near the low of the day and break it, I would probably get out, depending on also how the action happens underneath VWAP here. But just in terms of risk reward, I did like this one. So I've got two calls at the moment on Tesla, and we've also got Carvana calls that are working out quite nice as it bounces from VWAP. Let's go ahead and break those highs. I do not like this long wick on the 15.
Yeah, we're into the 26 here on the offer, but it just keeps getting hit when it gets into the 26. It went to 26.06 and then really right back down below 26 there on GME.
All right. My average price is 280. Contracts are going for 283. Don't ever tell me I'm a loser.
Nobody says that about Zuzu. Come on now.
All right, you can't compliment me and then say Zuzu. Come on, man.
Is that why? Is that?
I know,
like
but
bad...
it's not a bad thing. I just felt like, yeah, and then you said Zuzu, and I'm like, sounds like a dog's name.
Okay, my bad. That was not intentional, so I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
I'm a big nickname fan, Zunaid. So
right.
I like nicknames.
I like it. If it's Zuzu's perfectly fine.
I think that's why I like the Crow so much, is because he refers to himself as the Crow, which is a power move. Let's be honest.
It sure is. By the way, real quick, Tesla, those calls are now going for about $3. Feel free to do with it what you will, but honestly, this is a risky trade. It can go south real quick. Now they're trading for about 310, which is about $40 almost, now 320, $40 per contract. Please do what you see fit with your money. Please, please, please. I am not rich enough to fight the SEC. Please. Thank you.
Qs have pulled back below VWAP. It's something to keep an eye out for. We'll see what happens if it catches the bounce. SPY caught the bounce a little bit at the VWAP around 429, and it's back up above that. We'll see if that holds.
Farm consolidating here. Maybe we take the next leg up here on farm.
$26.09 now for GME. Can they take this off? I'm going to let them. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to try to let them work it and just completely take this off. We'll see if it works out for me. 26.12.
Carvana. New high day on Carvana. Let's go. Not closing this at all.
Spread's a little wide there.
On Carvana, or are you talking about another ticker?
GME starting to get a little wide there. Stitch Fix slowly just grinding its way higher up there towards now $5, up 36% on the day, and 1.3. Oh no, that's not from the open. 17.65 from the open. Play also big move up. Dave and Buster's big move. UCAR starting to pull, man. It just pulled back there to 850s. Who's on the UCAR life? Anyone playing UCAR today?
I am not, but I'm happy to take a look at UCAR as it's trying to bounce off of VWAP. Why do I have 887s as resistance here? Probably why. Right here. There's probably action.
Hey, at least you have it.
All right, Tesla. Are we going to break 230s? Are we going to break 230s? All right, D-Dog crossing 100 to the downside as Carvana tries to make new highs. Win, ticker WYNN, currently at 103. We're waiting for that one to pop and blast off above 104s. Boom, 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 boom. Where's Tesla? Where's Tesla? Ooh, down $1. Dun, 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 dun,
I get my new phone today. I'm excited about that.
Which one is that, my friend?
Galaxy S23 Plus Ultra, whatever, the big one.
All right, nice.
Nice. I have the S23, but I don't have the Ultra one.
Yeah, I have the S21 Ultra at the moment that I'm replacing. I normally do it every 2 phones.
I've got the mini. The mini.
The mini boy.
Yep.
It does the job, I'm sure. What you want to do, GME? All right, what you guys looking at out there? Tuna and Crow, UCAR? Looks interesting. It's a lot of volume there on that UCAR.
Man, come on. Just blast off at 230s. Tesla, just blast off at 230s, baby.
GME struggling here to try to get through the 26. It's just no real volume coming in and stepping up and driving it. That's what I'm looking for, to see if we can get that volume, but it's not coming in right now.
WLDS, WLDS, WLDS. I do not have any thoughts on WLDS, Crow. I don't know if the other gentlemen do, but
that was a recent runner. Let's take a look at that chart here real quick. Let's see if we can see anything.
Consolidation support for me is about 180. After that, I ain't got nothing for you.
WLDS. So here, I'll take a stab at this, Crow. You tell me what you think of this. WLDS really staying between the range that we flagged from the last time this really kind of took off. That range is 188 to 221. This side raise range, we've now been in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th day that we'll be in that range. So as long as it holds this 188, you might even be able to do a channel trade between 188 and 221. And if we take 221 off, 236 is likely a test. If that breaks, we likely go higher, given what we've seen from this stock in the recent past. So that's what I see here on WLDS. Crow, your eyes were lighting up for farm here. Let's take a look at that on the 1-minute chart.
As you get farm loaded up real quick, I had 2 Tesla contracts. I did go ahead and sell one of them here at 320. The other one I'm going to hold to see if we blast off of 230s.
All right, so this is what Crow's looking at here. It's this formation. If we take out three, let's see, 316, 317, maybe we go higher here on farmed. Crow agreeing on WLDS, 180s to 2s looks to be the range he's playing. Here's farm breaking out of this formation. Farm might go higher here. Next spot, by the way, on farm is going to be 327 if we get there.
Unity trying for a VWAP bounce type of trade off 37s here. I don't have it, but it looks interesting to me. The big thing, though, is I see the Qs right by the lows there. I'm a little concerned if we're going to see a little wick there, or will we see a move back above VWAP?
Palantir over 17. Keeping look at here. Let me go ahead. Are you going to trade on farm?
No, I'm not right here. I feel like I missed this breakout. Good call, though, by Crow.
All right, on Palantir, let's talk about it again for a third time. Resistance turning into support. $15 on Palantir. Resistance. Popped up, held as support. Held as support just as soon as yesterday. And now you've got a nice $2 move. Here it gave you a 50-cent move, and then finally went ahead and blasted off. Always look left to see what can possibly happen right. And speaking of what can possibly happen right, it is blast off time on Tesla. What a bounce off of VWAP. Those contracts that we purchased at, or I purchased rather, at 280 are now going for about 340. So that's nice $70 per contract. Feel free to do as you please. I had two. I sold one at 320s, and the other one I'm just hanging on to until. So here's my game plan. Even after the show's ended, what I'm going to do is, if you guys are familiar with Ripster, he talks about this all the time on Twitter. I like to follow it, but I'm a human being, so my emotions get into it. But the game plan I'm going to try with is to have this EMA cloud that you see on my chart right here. As long as this trend is above it, and as long as it stays above it, I'm going to hold on to my Tesla call. If it breaks it on the 10-minute, I will go ahead and get out. So that's my game plan on this one. In at 280s, currently trading at 350s, and we'll see where we close it.
Volume trying to come in for this GME move, but still not having it yet. Charge point giving me alert here. So charge point looking for 10, man. What a nice little move on charge point. I mentioned that earlier with Moo because I was looking at what was going up in the Explore tab, and you could see charging stations getting a little bit of a lift there. Nice push here. EV chargers, look, charge point. Nice push there. Now trying to get through 10. We'll see if it gets through there and went sideways right there at the 965s. Really good looking chart now as this starts to push and trying to make its way back towards 10. Doesn't look bad at all. You sold it yesterday, Carmen. It happens, man. It's making a nice move toward kind of that longer term trend line, at least the one that I have drawn.
Appreciate that, Leon. Thank you.
Charge point, Carmen. Charge point had sweeps this morning.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's got a spot at 10.
Yeah, it's trying to get there right now. It's 995. We'll see if it gets there. There's GME. I almost don't even want to look. This is one of those trades where I kind of have to let the gains just kind of stack up, because that's what I'm looking for. Big breakout in GME. 26.19 now. I needed to get towards like 27. A big move to 27, and that will show me that, yeah, we want to pop. We did get some volume on this recent move, so maybe that could be the move that actually gets it going. Over 200,000 on a 5-minute. I want to see if this could really now push.
A decent spot here on FRGT. If we can clear this out, this 132 spot, maybe FRGT makes a run towards that 150 level. VWAP right at this spot right now, by the way. So keep that on your radar in case that sets up. Market trying to bounce here after that recent downdraft. Farm looking like it's going for highs again. For those of you still on farm.
EV Go setting up her move back up to also, that's going off of the charge point kind of move. All right, looking around to see what happens in the market. Can we get a move right back up? SPY propping here, trying to get the move back above the 429s. Q's just propped up around the 355.50, but haven't recovered VWAP. That's kind of what I need for it to kind of keep riding this party. Did get stopped out in XOM in the swing account. Just want to mention that. One stock that I wanted to keep an eye on just alerted me here, Qualcomm, up towards 117s. I've been looking at this stock to see if it's going to really get moving. It's in this kind of rectangle pattern that I think is very important to kind of keep an eye out for. Nice little rectangle. You see the resistance, 117. It's trying to get through it today. This is not a bad looking stock. Holding pullbacks. Right now, just got right back above the VWAP. I'd look for a little VWAP test if I could get it. But Qualcomm looking like it wants to get going here. We'll see what happens.
CXAI popping to the highs as well.
Let's keep going. Let's see if we can nail GME, baby. GameStop. Who's stopping the GameStop? Not me. I wanted to keep going.
No, you're driving it, Mitch. You're driving the GameStop.
Yeah, man.
Jason, good to see you. How's my hubs doing, says Jason.
Your hubby? Your hubby's fine, Jason. I'm right here.
Whoa,
nah,
that
hubby,
really escalated quickly.
Hubs is continuing to grind higher, and we're just waiting for a nice AI mention, right, Jason? That's what we need from HubSpot. So if you know anybody in management, maybe give them a shout out, because if they could mention some AI, maybe that could really drive them higher. It kind of like a cup, a big rounding bottom on that pattern. So maybe a little pullback to 500 for a little cup and handle.
So look at my man Jason here trading hubs from around 300. We're currently up at 525. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Jason. This has been a stock that you've been in and out of quite a bit. Looking at the next level here, 568.75. I guess we could call it 569. Nice. A break of that, maybe we go higher here. Hubs really, really strong chart here.
I just
this one going well.
Investing in Wingstop or not? I know that was his.
No, he invested in it all right.
Lunch.
He's just he's an avid investor for lunch.
On the retail side, as a consumer.
He's mentioning another big holding, INMD. I don't know
Yep,
what you guys know about
INMD.
that
And for
one.
those of you, by the way, just to kind of do a shameless plug here, for those of you that get the Benzinga emails, we actually delivered this as a pick a couple weeks ago when Jason first started talking about this. This one does, the story here is that they have like this micro needling device that people are using for face procedures. And the reason that this is so big right now is because the huge popularity with the Ozempic and Mounjaro, the semaglutide injections, are causing more and more people to want these services. And this is a minimally, such easy for me to say, invasive procedure in order to kind of fix some of that. So thing behind the thing relationship play here for Jason. Really love this one.
Jason, we need to chop it up on YouTube, pal. We need you to hop on.
Right? Come and trade with us, Jason. Trading live, baby. Right here. All right, let's see if I can still.
Farm going for highs. Sorry to interrupt, Mitch, but we talked about this as a potential setup here. Farm going for highs.
Nice little move there in farm.
Yep, look at this. Looks like it's trying to. There it goes, breaking right through. That's why I wanted to interrupt you, Mitch, because we got that fast here. Farm pushing to highs, 347, going to be your pre-market high if we can get up there. If it breaks that, this is great volume here. Look for this to get absolutely wild. Farm, nice move for those of you that kept this on the screen. Let's go. Let's go.
Jason, you want to hop on in 15 minutes? Dude, come on down. Because I don't think we have all access till 11. Is that right, Mitch?
Room's open, baby.
There you go.
The door is always open here at Benzinga. You guys know it. You guys even in the chat.
Big move in farm. Let's go. God,
The Crow knows it. He's been here. He's been on.
By the
Door's
way,
always open.
I want to go back to that INMD.
Let's do it.
Because
Let's
I'm
take a look.
taking a look at the daily, and this is just a trend line that I've got. So if anyone's interested in it, you're close to that trend line, right? So to me, in terms of risk reward, if you wanted to get in this in terms of a long-term play, we'll send you the link here in a sec, Jason. This is a solid play if you wanted to kind of get into it. If it does break this trend line, though, I would personally get out. Obviously, follow your own thesis and do what you think is best with your hard-earned money. But I just wanted to chart it. It's solid on the trend line area. And let's get Boss Man that link.
Done.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. I beat you. I already had done it, man. Come on.
All right. Hey, listen.
Nah,
listen.
I'm just playing.
I'm just
It's out there. Definitely. Jason, I don't see you on, but it's in there. You can check it out. You'll get it. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Para getting a little bit of a lift today. It just seems like the market wants to lift, but can we just continue this lift? The SPY just making a little bit of a downturn there. The Q's cracking the support. Be careful out there, team. I don't know if we're going to be able to hold on. Everyone's trying to play this ride. I can't blame them. And now we're seeing the Q's start to let go a little bit.
Yeah, the contracts that we had sold at 320s and that went as high as 360s on Tesla, they're right back to about $3. So this is why you want to kind of lock in your gains as they come and not just be greedy. Scale out. It's the best way to move on.
And EKS, I'm sorry, but Jason will always correct you on how you spell Buffett. 2 T's, 2
Do
F's.
not deny the man his T's.
Yes.
Why would you deny the man his T's? Don't do it.
Well, it's cool because the way that he explained it on Slack when someone messed up, I think, I don't know who it was he is so rich that he deserves an extra T. I think it was somewhere along those lines.
I think he
when
deserves
he comes
it.
in here, he can go ahead and say exactly what his reasoning was to remember. That is. But by the way, I did go ahead and purchase. I had an order out there. Let me see when I purchased it. I did go ahead and rebuy one contract at $295. So I had sold it at 320. I bought it back for approximately $25 cheaper at 325. I am in the Tesla contracts, which means my average price is 286. They're currently trading for about 310. And let's see where we go on Tesla, which is right over here. We're wanting a blast off again of 230s, excuse me, and a base, and then a move higher would be lovely.
Well, you know me, what I'm looking at and keeping with right now. Can GME take off today? I was looking at it in pre-market prep, kept with it, got in there, looking for this to ride higher, average at 25.76. Just looking for a nice little push. Let's get through that pre-market 27. Start really kind of pushing through this. We recently got a push to the 38s. Looking for that 26.50s to start getting hot. Make a run to 27. We'll see if we can get this big squeeze today on GME.
We've got someone who would like to have us take a look at BABA. I got you, Sam. So on BABA, let me go ahead and thank you for that. You've got resistance from yesterday's high, right around this $87 range. So we'll see if this one kind of can break out to the upside. And of course, we've got Jason coming on here in a minute. Then we've got All Access at 11. It's a fun-filled show. But on BABA here, you've got the 87 mark right over here that you need for it to break. If we go ahead and take a look at the daily, it's kind of been it's obviously in a downtrend, as you can see here. You can kind of draw a line, so it might even face a little bit of turbulence around here. But on the intraday, that's what I've got. Yesterday's high, you got to clear if you're trying to play it for a quick trade.
All right, I will let you guys know at 10:30, I'm going to take a second from my trading action to have a little fun game with my man Zunaid and Ryan. They don't even know what they're in for, so stick around, team. 10:30.
It's the first time I've heard of this. You've got Jason coming on as well.
You got Farm going for highs. We got a lot of stuff happening, Mitch, right now. Farm
Smash
new
it
highs
up.
here, 367. Smash up those likes, absolutely.
Like, I'm not the greatest
Market pulling
gamer.
back here too should be easier to identify relative strength.
Well, let's talk about that. So the market's up kind of break even, if you will, up about half a point, where you've got Tesla that's up like 4%. You've got Coinbase that's up 2%. You've got, let's see what else is up at the moment. You've got Carvana, again, a different type of stock that's up about 7%. So those are your relative strong stocks in the market at the moment. The weaker ones are like your AMDs, your Amazons, your Microsofts, and a DDOG, which is down below $100. Let's go ahead and check out DDOG, as that one is below 100. If this 15-minute does go ahead and close below 100, I would be interested in trying to short it. The next area you could try is going to be that VWAP right there around $100.50.
All right, let's keep it going here. Let's see what else is going on in the markets. Will the Qs bounce here? They're kind of leaking down. Are we going to see a little bit of a leak today? I'm keeping an eye on to see if we start to get that action. And maybe like the SQQQs are going higher. Just made a new high recently. We'll see if that starts to push. Will the Qs leak out today? And you can see it. It's happening right now. The only question is, will it be a major move or just this minor leak? Is the market going to turn around? Will GME go to the moon? What do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think? Put a 1 if you guys think GME is going to the moon. Put a 2 if you guys think I'm losing it today.
you know,
It's like I'm throwing them twos, baby.
Well, it's again, we talked about this at the top of the show. I think Carvana is where the new money is at, right? I think that's what it is. And again, I haven't been on Reddit. I don't know what that is. I know that was a part of your thesis. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Reddit is looking at. What I do know, by the way, the contracts that I purchased at about $295 on Tesla that I rebought, I'm looking to sell those at approximately $340. So just looking to flip it for about $50 if I can.
Yeah, Tesla, nice one, man. Nice little gain there on that one. It's just been ripping. So good little read on that one. Now GME to 26.55. Big move there. Let's go. Let's see if we can get this to keep pushing here. Get towards the 26.93 pre-market high. That's really what I want to see kind of get pushed through. If that happens, maybe we could really get this driving. It's a nice bid there on ARCA at 26.40s, 1,000 shares waiting there. Let's see that get hit. See if it comes right back up. 10,000 at 26.60 and 10,000 at 26.70, 10,000 at 26.80. So it looks like there's some algo, or maybe somebody kind of piecing out there at the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. They're trying to get out and take some profit into that move of the high of the day. Let's see if we can take them out and just keep going through. So a little bit of a wall there. We'll see if it busts us through.
All right, here's NVIDIA, by the way, coming down below the trend line that we had drawn earlier this morning. Just something to note. This weaker market is not helping our Tesla trade, as it's just asking for anything, any stability. And we could possibly go ahead and blast off of that.
Q's going lower here.
Yes, they are. What just happened here? Those Carvana calls. Again, another reason you want to go ahead and scale out. They were as high as 170. Yeah, but as high as 170. Now they're down at $1. I'm going to go ahead and buy some here at $1, but my stop loss is going to be 89 cents. 89 cents on all of my Carvana calls.
Stock's getting dragged down now. This GME trade is starting to get dragged by the Qs. The Qs are just going lower, starting to ruin these kind of like trades to the upside. Be careful out there. I'm starting to see success prop a little bit. So this could kind of ruin it, man. And GME was working up there really well, but the Qs starting to work against us. And that is not what I want to see there. You can see it here. Qs just leaking. That might turn around the trade that I see right now.
Yep, and here's Tesla right back at VWAP.
Damn Qs, man.
It sure is, but we needed to salsa to the upside, mods. That's
There's
what we needed
the
to do.
Lower. I might have to just take this gain here in GME.
Let's see if we can go ahead and find some type of support here at the pre-market lows on the Qs. If not, my stop loss on those Tesla calls, by the way, is right beneath 250. So currently it's trading at about 260s. I think if I lose about another 10, $20 per contract, I'm out.
And this is dropping fast, and the Qs are just turning around and just wrecking this trade right now. And this is how when the market can go away from you, you got to be quick to determine, is the rotation going away from you? And I'm starting to see tech almost leaking into the red here. And a lot of that is what the Q's pulling back.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of my Tesla contracts. I am out.
Whole market seems to be pulling back here.
It's the Qs, bro. They broke. The tech trade broke right now, at least from what I see. So setting a little bit of a stop here. I already blew through that. Yeah, just gonna have to take the gain in GME. It's not what I wanted to see there. Now success starting to spike. Can give it a chance here to hold the low here, which is 93. But other than that, I'll get the heck out.
On the DDOG trade, you can see 10-minute candles, 10-minute chart, broke the 100, retested it, bloop, to the downside for a whole $1.
All right, set an order to get out at 25.90s if I need to on GME. I'm going to focus on seeing if we start seeing a little bit of a stock test push here. That can be maybe a little bit of a trade. But this is kind of one of those more trades that is just because the Qs are breaking down.
Yex to near the highs. Farm still consolidating here around this 350 level. Crow, looks like you cut farm based on those candles.
All right, I'm going to get some Carvana here. Just start building a position at 1558s as it is testing the pre-market highs, excuse me.
Still a lot of short interest in Carvana.
Yeah, we'll see if this works out for us. Just looking for a 1-to-1 trade. See how it plays out for the rest of the day. Let's see if Tesla can go ahead and find some support. We still have our Carvana calls, which our average price is about 110, and they're currently trading at about 104s.
Becca says play.
That's Dave and Buster's.
I just go play there. Yeah, 42.
Come on.
42.
I actually
just want to go play.
I took my nieces and nephews to go there about pre-pandemic, and I still have their little chip thingies or whatever.
Yeah, you got
so
some
I still
credits.
have I've got 500 total chips to play games there. So yeah.
Is that one game or is that like a lot?
I don't know. I think it's a lot, but I honestly don't know, man. It's been so long.
Get your rewards, baby. You know you got to get them. And if you need to get some tickets, you know, the little spinning one with like the two little stop. Oh man, I'm so good at that because my baseball reaction skills. I used to sit at Chuck E. Cheese and literally just wait for people to add up some tickets so that I could go right behind them and then hit the jackpot. It's really not. That's where you can get it. I realized that. I realized that when I was a kid and I used to try to get like anything that was like really expensive. But GME is just battling here, team, and it's a lot of them in that Q pullback, but the Qs are still looking weak right now, and that's where it gets a little concerning. Can GME just go against the market today? Yeah, it could. So that's why I just put a stop underneath there. I have it towards 25.90s. If that breaks, I'll still get out for a win, but I'm looking for a bigger win on this. Honeywell coming down today. Now starting to get a little bit of a bounce. You know, you know what? I think it's perfectly timed. Jason still hasn't got here. I still have a little bit of time here. I can play a little fun with these guys. So we're going to play a little game here. Of course, if you guys are in a trade, focus on that. But I do want to have a little bit more fun here on live trading with Benzinga. So I thought, let's have a little fun and play a little game here. Of course, you guys know Kramer's lightning round, right? He talks about stocks that he would buy, sell. And so I thought, you know what? Why don't we play a game if we agree or disagree with Kramer on these buys or sells? So I'll kick it to you guys. You guys let me know your opinion, and then I'll wrap it up with my opinion at the end. So do you agree or disagree with Kramer's lightning round? First stock, Alibaba. Kramer says Alibaba is the only Chinese stock that I would be recommending if you guys have to buy a Chinese stock. That would be the one. And then he says, I don't think you should, but that's the guy.
All right. Well,
I mean, there's a lot of caveats that he put in there. Like, if you have to buy a Chinese stock, then this is the one that you buy. No, I would say that that's not true. I would say if you're going to take the risk on a China stock, there's probably one that's a little bit easier to trade than Alibaba. I think we are approaching one of the big sale holidays in China, if I recall correctly. It's not Singles Day because I think that's in the fall. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I believe that that's coming. So maybe that's good short term for Alibaba. I'm going to give Alibaba 2 thumbs down. So is that I disagree with Kramer?
Or is it a double negative, which ends up being a positive? I don't know.
No.
He said that would be the one to buy, but hey.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
Double thumbs down on Ryan. Zunaid, double thumbs up.
I'm going to say no.
Double thumbs down.
On Baba?
Yeah. We're talking long term.
How long? Like, okay, long term?
We're talking long term investing here.
I'd say it's a buy.
Say it's a buy
I
there.
think
He's gonna
I think
agree.
it reaches. I think
He
it
agrees.
reaches like 150 before it reaches, what is that? 40, like whatever the difference is between the two, right?
I like it.
I think that's the way it
Yeah,
goes.
Derby in the chat here. I like PDD, honestly. I like PDD more than Bobby. Shout out to Derby here from our chat. That's what I would pick too. I think if I had to pick one, it would be PDD, not Baba. So I disagree with Kramer. And we'll just call Zunaid Kramer from now on, as he agrees with it.
Hey.
All right, let's keep it going. Do you agree or disagree with Kramer on Snap-on Tools, Snap Inc., SNAP?
Okay,
He
so
said,
this one's
you bet it's a buy. It's a great company.
okay. This makes me sad. Couple of things here on Snap. First of all, I use Snap-on Tools personally. I have used them when I used to be a car mechanic in a former life. They are without a doubt the best tools. The company is excellent. The product that they make, they treat their customers the right way. That being said, I'm disappointed to know that Kramer really likes this. If we take a look at the chart, we're at pretty much a dead bottom here. I like this higher from here, especially if more and more people get into repairing their own cars instead of buying new cars because of high interest rates. We'll see if that has an opinion. I will agree with Kramer here.
Zunaid.
We're talking about Snap, like
Snap-on
right?
Tools. Oh, shoot. I looked at the wrong chart.
No, you didn't. You didn't. It's Snap. You're right.
Wait, it's Snap-on Tools or Snapchat?
No, bro, this is Snapchat.
Snap-on Tools. So
No.
SNA.
Okay, so you
went
pulled
to
the
wrong
wrong
one.
one.
SNA.
SNA.
I blame Mitch. He said
sucks.
SNAP. I blame
Yeah.
him.
So,
I
as
said
far as
Snap.
fundamentals, go with the company, everything I still think is the same. They're a great company. They make a great product. They treat
Keep
their
doing
customers right. This looks like a breakout here. So the chart before looked like it was kind of at a dead bottom here. This looks like a breakout. I'm going to still stay in the yes camp. Call it my bias for Snap-on Tools. I'm going to stay yes here.
Junaid, do you know anything about Snap-on Tools?
Nah, but I'm gonna go with Ryan. It's fine. Cool. Snap it on, baby. Let's pop off.
One last one here. Do you agree or disagree with Kramer on General Electric?
Okay, that's ticker GE, right? Let's get this right so Ryan doesn't make an ass of himself.
GE goes
Bro,
higher.
You threw me for a loop. I was like, wait,
Buy.
did a change of ticker happen?
Yeah, no, Zunaid, look, I take full responsibility for that, and I apologize. However, let's address GE here. I'm going to disagree with him. The one thing that I think could work in the favor here is if we get a rotation out of tech into industrials. I think GE might be one of those names that people go into. But I'm going to say no. To me, this looks like an extended run. We look pretty primed for a pullback here on GE. I'm going to say no. I disagree with Kramer on GE.
I'm
Whoa, Becca, that's escalating it really quick here.
Look, our boss man's about to hop on. All right, we can't be making these jokes, but I agree though.
Actually, if Jason jumps on, more jokes, I think is probably the move. To be quite honest with you,
if he says it, it's different than if I say it. You know what I mean?
Just snap on, Zunaid. Snap on, bro.
Oh, my
but General Electric, bro. So back to the electric. So what do you think about GE, Zunaid?
I think I don't know anything about GE. I would just be making it up. So let's just quickly look at the charts and see what I think. Let's do it that way. Let's do it on a technical basis because I don't necessarily have. But it's been on an uptrend, right? So it's been kind of on an uptrend here lately. Let's go ahead and check out the weekly on this one. Obviously, been moving nice and high. I think if you can go ahead and keep it above $100, I think it's solid. And if it does go ahead and break down to the 97s or so, I'd get rid of it. But you do also have support here at approximately $90 on GE. So either wait for a $100 pullback or a $90 pullback, depending on your risk tolerance.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. Do you agree or disagree with Kramer? We'll play this game a little bit more often.
I like this game.
It was nice. It was solid.
Kramer's lightning rounds and trying to grab that for us. And then we can just give an opinion. Do you agree or disagree with the flipper? Kramer, baby. All right, let's keep going. Let's get back to the stock market action. How are we looking on the Qs? Did we finally bottom out or we just keep leaking? We keep leaking. So this is where I start thinking, okay, is this the time that we can really start looking for SQQQ type of trades, things like that? And you are seeing that type of move. NVIDIA going lower now to 387. Are we going to start seeing a crack on some of this big move to the upside? SPXS is another way that I could go about this. for kind of like day trade action. And it looks like I'm about to get hit. There you guys see it get hit there in GME on the pullback, this 25.90s. So taking the profits there at 25.90s. Definitely could have taken profits up there to 26.50s, but was looking for the bigger move. Just never got it.
All right, on Tesla, obviously, it's kind of tried to pop up above 230 again, but it came right back down below VWAP. UCAR heating up. Let's see, and there is Boss Man over there. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to take the top off of $9. It briefly got over there to 909s, couldn't stabilize itself above, so it'll be interesting to see if it does base, how much higher it goes. Keep an eye on $10 as resistance, though. As you can see, last time it tried to approach it there, it could not stay above.
And guys, really quick, before Jason jumps on here, the market is selling off here. It looks like the Canadian bank raised interest rates. I don't think the market is liking that. That's probably why we're going lower here. Anyway. Someone asked about Arnaz earlier. Who was that? Someone saying, it was Matt. Matt saying, Ryan, check Arnaz knife yesterday. Big time pop and knife aftermarket. Was this an offering, Matt? I want to say that that's what happened here. Yeah, so they ran it up during the market, and then they announced a $7 million public offering right after the close, or in the after hours. Maybe not right after the close, but in the after hours, and that's what knifed it. So you're looking at Arnaz here for a potential. Oops, I clicked on the wrong button again. Sorry about that. Looking at Arnaz here for a potential bounce. I mean, we basically round tripped on this stock. We're right where we were prior to the huge run. And the huge fall off. So maybe we get a bounce here. To me, volume is not telling us anything with the story, though. That's what I'd be looking for. Maybe keep it on your watch list in case it goes, but
went ahead and purchased some cues here for an intraday trade. Jason, I guess you give us a thumbs up whenever you're ready, pal. All right.
He's ready. There you go. Jason. In. What's going on?
What up?
Founder,
what up?
How we doing? We gotta fix that the name a little bit. I got you. I'll fix your name for you. No
Can you
worries.
hear
How
me?
we doing, Jason?
We can hear you, pal.
All right. Good. I got to bring the energy that Mitch was bringing. I hear that. How you doing, the founder? Yeah. Thanks, Mitch. You fixed that for me. Okay. So I haven't been here in a while. How you guys been? How's life? How's the kids? How's family? How's everything?
I don't have kids, so I'll just skip ahead to you not being here for a while. We got a request that we need the Raz report. It's been too long, Raz.
Yeah. Okay. So I just did a mental health one, and we're going to move it to the Raz report. And then I'm going to be doing Raz reports twice a week, at least once a week for sure.
Nice.
But I think coming in here and revealing some stock picks and talking a little bit about history and how I've done stuff, I think can be useful. As you guys remember, Tesla was my baby, if you remove splits, whatever, $8 and $26. And I still remember being on the pre-market prep show when I said there'll be a Tesla in every parking lot. And after the show, this guy, Spencer Israel, an old employee of Benzinga, old team member, took me to the side, or he didn't take me to the side. He just said, Jason, I know you're trying to do hyperbole like Jim Cramer, but you shouldn't say like there'll be a Tesla in every lot if you don't believe that, and I'm like, are you crazy? I fully believe that. And Tesla followed the path of what I thought it would. Now, did I know it would go as high as it did? No, I didn't know that. I mean, at one point, Tesla was over 70% of my portfolio because I bought it, I think $3,800 worth. I thought $7,800, and that $3,800 went to, it went to a nice 6 digits. Okay, let's put it that way, a nice 6 digits. So it was like 60% of my portfolio. Now it's not. I've sold stuff I sold stuff into strength and weakness. I've sold some at 185, but then I buy a little more. I still own the 6 digits of it, but it was one time 70% of my portfolio. Why I wanted to come in here is HubSpot, HUBS, is another stock that I've traded. And whereas, Mitch, Ryan, Zunaid, awesome at seeing stocks, awesome at seeing intraday trades, that they'll find you the pennies, they'll find you the nickels and dimes, and they'll use technicals. I'm strictly mostly a fundamental trader, other than I do look at patterns or 52-week highs and lows. I don't believe in the philosophy of buying 52-week lows because it's so cheap, and then you can buy more and it's so cheap. I like buying when I start to see trends or I get a little early. So Tesla, I was in very early and it hurt for a while. HubSpot, I bought at $60. When Dan Gilbert was meeting with Mark Benioff 6 years ago, I told him to tell him to look at HubSpot because Salesforce was buying every company then, and they didn't buy HubSpot. HubSpot was giving away a free CRM, and that's like your database to keep your contacts, and they had a marketing engine. Well, now that CRM is a real thing, and I was just somewhere, I forget, some conference, and I asked everyone what CRM they use, and literally they were saying HubSpot, to the point that I said to our team, I want to move from Salesforce to HubSpot. I don't know what that involves. Now I see HubSpot is down 3% today. I sold all my HubSpot around 400 and I bought it back. I bought it at 60, sold at 400, and I didn't have a ton of it. This is different times. And then I bought back a ton of it at 290. So I bought, now my average price paid, I would show you my whole live portfolio is 316, because here's what I want to get to. And here's the whole point of why I'm bringing Tesla. So Zunaid, Ryan, Mitch, here is a problem.
Jason, I don't want to interrupt you right now, but the main thing is, can you bring your camera down a little bit, because this is really good stuff that you're giving us, and I want to be able to see your face. Great,
Love it. There you go.
all right, there, that's perfect. Appreciate it. Keep going,
Okay.
Jason.
So here's a big problem. Zunaid, Ryan, Mitch, and I got everyone. I got Zunaid, Ryan, and Mitch. Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Okay. So here's a big problem that I had. When Tesla was going up from $36 to $45 to $60 to $105, this is before splits. So this is like, would be $300-$400. I didn't buy more shares. Do you want to know what the reason I didn't buy more shares? I'm actually going to have you guys guess why I didn't buy more shares.
You didn't, I don't know, you had like a risk tolerance where it's like, hey, I know where I'm going to cut
Nope.
it. No.
Nope.
Didn't want to ruin your average.
Oh, I still own Callaway Golf too, but yeah. So wait, you didn't want to ruin my average. What do you mean by that?
Well, you would
Just
improve it.
adding the position. Keep
You
adding.
didn't
the
want to raise
position.
your cost basis.
Yeah, the cost basis.
Yeah, because of why though?
Because
Oh,
you
because
can't.
of your mental, because like your physical, your psychological sense of, oh shoot, I bought it at a different price than I originally thought. Was it a psyche thing?
No, this one's easy. I think there's a lot of people like this. So the Tesla, I was up, 600, 800, 900%, right? And
Yeah.
so if I buy more shares, that raises my cost basis. And
Right.
now I'm only up 600% or 400%, even though that percentage gain doesn't matter. It's the absolute dollar gain, right?
Right.
So I owned Tesla way before anyone talked about Tesla, okay? And it kept going up, and I didn't buy more shares because I liked seeing the percentage gain in my portfolio, to the point that I eventually started a new portfolio to buy shares in another account so it wouldn't ruin my percentage gain. Do you realize how mental that is? How dumb
So
that
it was
is?
your
Because
psyche, yeah.
it's my psyche. It's my psyche, and I
get
still
it.
but I still have it. I'll tell you why. So HubSpot, I bought at 290, and it keeps going up, right? And so I'm like, Jason, don't do. I know I said my name in the third person. Jason, don't do again what I did with HubSpot and don't buy more. And so now my cost basis is 316. So my percentage gain looks less, but my dollar gain is more. So I've been buying 10, 20 shares of HubSpot pretty much. I started doing it again like at 400, but it took me a while to say stop looking at percentage gain is the moral of the story.
It reminds me of when there's a psychology part of it where it's like, hey, if you make $100 on a trade, it doesn't feel as good on the spectrum as bad you feel if you lose $100. So it's kind of like you remember the pain more than the gain.
Well, Zunaid, gambling. So going to casino, if I won $2,000 or lost 400, I was way more angry for losing $400 than winning $1,500. Let's be real. I didn't win 2,000 pretty much ever. Okay. Because if I was at 2,000, I'd be like, okay, let me get the 5,000, just like, come on. Like, and then I would just lose it. But there is a Dana White way of gambling, and I can talk about that. And that's how I try to play the stock market. So let's go to stock picks real quick. And this you guys can clip out. So I just gave you HubSpot and Tesla. I'm still long HubSpot. If I look at my portfolio, my biggest position, HubSpot is my 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth biggest position. I got really big into NVO, which is that semaglutide. They make Ozempic, and then Lilly, LLY. And I say I got really big into them. I've been selling my NVO. NVO was my second biggest position. I sold a bunch of it. I don't even want to tell you how many shares I had. Let's say I have 500 now. I had 1,000 shares. I've sold half the position. My gain was 14 to 15%. I think Lilly's a better company. I'm up 25% on Lilly, and on NVO, I'm up like 8%, and I sold half of the position. Because of those drugs, I think I don't know if you guys remember, but for kids, a lot of kids for bad skin take a drug called Accutane. I think these semaglutide drugs, NVO, LOY, Pfizer will come out with one. Everyone will have one. I think they're a life-changing drug, and I think they'll be as popular as Accutane, if not more. And because of that, INMD is another pick. I've been buying it up. It went down. I was down 10% on it or 8% on it. Now I'm up 2.73% on it. So Zunaid, I kept buying this one as it was going down, and it's a large position of mine. INMD just had earnings. They weren't that strong. They could have been lowballed, but INMD will do well if the economy doesn't take a shit, in the sense that people are losing weight on these drugs. I was just with a guy who lost 70 pounds. Well, what happens is you have this extra skin and you need to get rid of it. They do this stuff for med spas, but insurance doesn't really cover this ailment or what have you. And so if the economy takes a shit, then this elective surgery may not be as elective. I believe, just like I believed with Tesla, that everyone would have it, or that there would be a Tesla in every parking lot. I believe that the semaglutide drugs that were just for diabetes will be for weight loss. And I mean, there already is one, Mounjaro, for weight loss. I believe that this is just the beginning. And so I had a long-term approach to Tesla. If I sold Tesla when Joe Elconin told me to, I need to trim my Tesla, instead of me making 1,000% and really making it in a big way, I would have made 50%, right? So some of these things you got, I hang on to. Oh yeah, Crocs is another one. Crocs is probably my biggest gain in the last year. I'm up 115%. I like 30,000. It's at 72,000. But yeah, that was my biggest one.
Crocs is a popular one on this show, Jason. We actually had one of our viewers, Jay, has been trading Crocs quite a bit and has kept us updated on that. I have a quick question for you on I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop you.
No. Why is Crocs one of your biggest ones?
Well, no, that's not one of my biggest positions. It gets talked about often on here because we had one of our viewers make a spectacular call on Crocs when it was near the lows and ended up making over 100 points on it. Just an absolutely huge move. Amazing. Crocs also bought Hey Dude, which are really popular shoes amongst guys right now.
That's right. Do you know why the Benzinga user bought it?
I would have to ask him again. I don't remember. He did tell us. It's just my goldfish memory stopping me from recalling it.
Okay, go ahead. What was your question?
We've got.
No, I know Ryan had.
Yeah, my question. You talked a lot about the thesis for the semaglutide injections and how you're actually trading that. These are the types of trade I like the most. So I have a couple of follow-up questions. Number one, you had mentioned that it's FDA approved for diabetes, but not for weight loss. Marie, who I believe is a doctor in the chat, saying that the weight just comes back. One of the things that these drugs do is they have to actually change your habits. We have a guy in the happy hour who started Ozempic a month ago. He's down 14 pounds in 1 month. So we actually have someone testing this and giving us the results. He's kind enough to share his results. I heard news that there's going to be a semaglutide pill coming. Do you think that might help make this even more mainstream and give a tailwind to your trading thesis here?
Yeah, so more color on that. There are some of these drugs approved for weight loss already, okay? Yes, Pfizer has a pill form. Also, Lilly is working on this pill form. The Lilly one, they did a test that the weight didn't come back right away or anything like that. They said it was actually not immediate return of weight. It actually had good results. I took this drug. I took a compound of Ozempic because I couldn't get it here, and so there's a compound factory or compound places all over town, and not just in Michigan but other places. That they used basically the Ozempic and added B12 to it. I was taking it for like 6 weeks or maybe 8 weeks, And yes, if you eat too much, you are sick. It depends on the drug. Ozempic makes you sick, on that, at least the one I was taking on. And when I say sick, like sick, stomach flu, everything. And yeah, yep, Sydney, I want to know which stock. Sydney, I want to know which stock. And so this is the big, these have been approved for diabetes forever. That's good for diabetes. I met with 3 different doctors doing research on these stocks. This one doctor I met with has been prescribing this for weight loss for 3 years now. She has many patients who've lost 60, 70 pounds, who've kept it off, and then they stop taking the drug, or they take it once a month, and it has worked. And then when they stop taking the drug, if the person gained 3 pounds, then they would take the drug like once a month. Pfizer is working on that pill. Lilly's been at this for a long time. The shot is actually, I'm afraid of shots like no other. The shot doesn't hurt. It goes into your top layer of skin. And, you know, but yes, you have to change your habits, but you also want to change your habits. It's not just, you know,
Bingo.
you know, and, you know, so people have been using drugs for, you know, fen, for whatever it was. I'm saying to you, there's a couple, oh yeah, the Crocs, I got it. Thank you, Sydney. What I'm saying to you is there's a couple things with these drugs. It's not just food habits. So there's a thing called, not glucose. What's the thing that regulates sugar? So
Insulin,
a lot of
or
insulin. Yes. So thank you. So a lot of life is hereditary. So I sit next to this person, Corey Sickman. Okay. And she's skinny. And I would make an argument if she ate the same food I ate in one day, she wouldn't gain weight, but I would. I believe she has better hereditary genes with insulin resistance that I don't have, or I have a higher insulin resistance. These drugs remove that. These drugs get my insulin resistance to her level. And so it's not just your diet, it's part of hereditary. So Ryan, I wear glasses, and glasses help me see better. You know, my parents' eyes, they may have to wear glasses. Same kind of thing. You have these friends that are always super skinny, and you're like, oh, why can't I be like that? I eat the same food as them. Now, I'm not saying I do. Look, see, I have a McDonald's. That's why I was 5 minutes late. I have a McDonald's smoothie thing here. So a mango thing, and that's too much sugar. So I shouldn't have that. You know, but people who can't gain weight. And so these drugs help with that. And I just think as more and more come out, that more and more people are going to take it. And then a stock like INMD will benefit. That's my thesis there.
so it looks like INMD is the closest to your entry point as of today, because I think you said you're up about 2%. We had Megan in the chat ask, you know, if you had money today, where would you invest it? We got $10 here. It's the closest to your position, I think, is the INMD. It's about 2% gain for you.
Yeah, and like I bought Zunaid, I bought other stuffs like a Vanguard fund, a VUSXX. It's not like a stock, it's a money market that gives you 5% on your cash, 5.07%. It owns like treasuries. It's instead of buying T-bills, like I have a bunch of money at VUSXX, and that just gives you 5%. INMD is one, yes, for sure. I'm always finding new opportunities, new trend following stocks, and also banks. Like one of my biggest positions is a bank. I mean, and that position today is up 1%, which is like almost $1,000 for me today. It's one of my biggest positions. Like I don't just go in the trend fund. I used to be, like I told you, Tesla, 70% of my portfolio, but now I try to diversify in the sense that if, you know, tech is down, I'm still not getting killed. I do own banks. So when those regionals fell, I was buying this Northeastern Bank Corp, NECB. I'm up 20% on that. I bought it in weakness. WAL, which is another regional bank, Western Alliance. I'm up. Let's see what I'm up on Western Alliance, WAL. I mean, I don't know a ton of Western Alliance, but I must be up a little. I'm up 9% on Western Alliance. So I try to like not just go all in on one stock anymore. I try to diversify it up. I'm in the mortgage companies like a UWMC, RKT. I like UWMC's dividend. So I really like that dividend.
We got about 5 minutes. Did you have something, Mitch? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Brian was highlighting it also. Smoke Tuna asking a question here to you, Jason, on AI trend. What's in your portfolio? What's AI, baby? What are
All
you
right, so
seeing out there?
we got like 500 people here. Let's hit the like button. And I guess, I do put some of my picks into a newsletter. If you're a Benzinga Pro subscriber, you will get my picks before anyone else does. And I stand by them. If I have a losing thing, I can tell you a thing I lost in. I bought USDC through Voyager. Thought it was the most conservative thing because USDC was stable coin. Well, Voyager went bankrupt, so I've been having to deal with that for a year. But like I like to talk about wins and losses. There's a lot more wins than losses. You said, what is my AI trend? Well, like Adobe, I've been playing because they have this new graphical thing. You say, I want to see a tree there instead of a person. It's pretty cool. I know that'll be a commodity type thing, but what it does open for Adobe is a new audience segment. And what I mean by that, Mitch, is I wouldn't use Adobe before. Corey Sickman next to me would use Adobe. She's an artist. She knows how to do graphics. I don't. So Corey said, I need a new headshot. She could take a photo with me. Adobe can do all the stuff that'll make my face look skinnier, all this stuff without Corey having to do it. So I think Adobe will play well into this AI trend. There's a lot more stuff that we're not even thinking about in these AI trends and how the technology will change things. Like think sports betting, how you'll be able to use statistics better. Think weight loss. I mean, you look at Weight Watchers. What are they going to do with AI? Just think about all these businesses, how it affects others. HubSpot, Mitchell, I know you talked about it. If HubSpot announces an AI thing, think about how their newsletters get created and how they make stuff easier for the average user. Do they create, creating new technology tools will become a lot easier. And if that's the case, technology companies will benefit in a big way in terms of employment costs going down, but also new tools that they can sell to their customers, which expands margin and revenue. I mean,
go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
No, here at Benzinga, we're doing the same thing. We're trying to figure out how AI can help us benefit and grow the company. Like Benzinga Pro, you'll see a lot of cool AI stuff in there. If you're not a subscriber, please check it out. And you'll also get my picks. And you can email me and I'll answer. If you're a Benzinga Pro subscriber, you can email, text. I will answer. I promise. Like that's where my, that's where
I can confirm if you email Jason, he will answer. By the way, Jason,
if you're a Benzinga Pro subscriber.
Becca here, who is a photographer and also does photo editing, saying, yeah, lots of AI photo editing features in Adobe. So she's well aware of what you were saying. And one more thing, Jason, on your AI call there, Stanley Druckenmiller this morning said he thinks that AI is, quote, unlike crypto in that AI is real and has the potential to be as transformative as the internet. Thank you, Benzinga Pro, for bringing me that headline. So it looks like you're in pretty good company with your thesis there. Druckenmiller knows what he's doing.
All right.
I mean, one person just wrote, Smoke Tuna said GTLB is the AI DevOps platform. Why is GitLab an AI DevOps platform? I don't know that. And I guess one more thing I want to say. I'm working on some big, I know you have 1 minute, so I have to go. I'm working on some big things behind the scenes to expand live trading with Benzinga and give you guys more access to it. If you love the show, press 1 in the chat right now, because we're working on some big things that could expand the reach. And so if you press 1 or hit the like, it helps us to know what's working and what's not. Video is really important. And thank you guys all. And I'm sorry, James aren't you supposed to be working over there, dude? James is sitting behind me. And the first thing, all right, guys, thank you. I know you have another. Stay on for all access. Let's have fun.
One more quick thing I want to say on that, Jason. I really appreciate the plug. It means a lot to us. Mitch Zunade and I really take this show seriously. We have a really awesome community here. Just so you're aware, because I'm not sure if you're aware of this, our community members have taken it upon themselves to either join or create YouTube streams not created by us so that they can stay together when Mitch Zunade and I come off the air. So to hear news about you trying to expand this and give them more access to it, I can't imagine the excitement going on behind the computer screens. I really appreciate that, folks. We really run off feedback here. If you've got feedback for how we can make this more valuable to you, we absolutely want to hear it.
Like always, email Jason Raznick, jason@benzinga.com. It's great to have you on here, and join Benzinga Pro. You guys can always get your 2-week trial if you haven't done so already. Look down below, right there in the description. All right, that's going to do it for Jason Raznick. Keep up with him, though. He's coming back with the Raz Report someday soon. I won't give you guys the actual date just yet, but get ready. Jason's coming back and more ready than ever. We'll have you back on, Jason. Good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Definitely give Jason a follow at Jason Raznick on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Let's wrap it up, boys. I do want to let you guys know I did take a little bit of a trade here in SPXS, looking to see what happens on the day, but definitely we're starting to continue leaking down there. We'll see if the Qs are able to bounce back. 352.16 right now. What are your last comments, boys, as we wrap up?
Yeah, I'm just watching the market here. I want to see where we end up finishing. We've had some of these pennies run. We'll see if we get more pop. I guess one that you can keep on watch is going to be QBTS. See if that runs here in the afternoon. But we covered it. Going to watch a lot of these plays and see where the market actually finishes today.
Yeah, if the Qs can get over 353, keep an eye on it coming back to the VWAP. And now we've got all access with my man Michael. So I'm excited to see what he's got.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's transition over. Let me bring down Ryan here. Let me bring down Zunaid. We'll be transitioning over, getting you guys over to all access. That's starting up just in 1 second here. So don't go anywhere, team. We got a great one for you. Look right above KNW. Let's get to it. I'll see you next time, team. Take care.
Welcome into Benzinga All Access. Michael Murray with Benzinga joining you here. First time back in the All Access show for quite a while. Excited to be joined by Ron Erickson, Chairman and CEO from No Labs. He's going to be kicking us off today in a 10-minute segment discussing No Labs and what the company does. Excited to be able to do this in a pre-record format too, due to scheduling changes, so we're able to have a little bit more control over what we're able to discuss and what we're actually able to bring to the investing audience. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump in with a customized intro and bring on Mr. Erickson. Ron Erickson, Chairman and CEO of No Labs. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Thanks a lot. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here on Benzinga All Access. Very excited to bring you and the No Labs story to the investor audience today. Let's go ahead and dive in here at a very high level and just understand what exactly No Labs does. What kind of industry do you work in, and what is the company all about?
Well, the industry is medical technology. We have developed a device, a sensor, that allows us in its first application to non-invasively ascertain blood glucose levels. That's a big deal because, of course, people are pricking their finger or they're using other invasive devices to determine blood glucose. So we've created a sensor that can non-invasively ascertain the presence of analytes molecules in the human body. There's a long list of those. Our first focus is glucose. We're going to be bringing to the market the first non-invasive glucose monitor for that global population that suffers from diabetes.
Fantastic. So with that being said, let's take a look at the biotech industry as a whole and the medical device industry as you guys are sitting in it. What does the competitive landscape look like right now for you guys? Direct competitors to you, maybe other companies that are doing the same kind of thing. How proprietary and how unique is your business model compared to other people that may be in your competitive landscape right now?
Well, I think the competitive landscape is filled with what I call legacy players. So, for example, you've got big global corporations that are producing finger stick and you've seen people use those. They prick their finger, they check their blood glucose levels. So, that is arguably a competitor. Now we're non-invasive, and so you don't need to prick your finger. We're kind of the non-prick, the non-jab approach to this. But I think that's a competitor because they're legacy players and they're well embedded globally. Then I think that you have to look at the people who are doing continuous glucose monitoring, the likes of Dexcom with their G6, G7, and Abbott Labs with their Freestyle Libre. Those devices have small needles, they call them filaments, that go into the body to determine blood glucose levels from the interstitial fluid. And I think you need to look at those as competitors too, because they have an installed base, they're growing, and they provide a lot of utility to people who wanted to move away from having to prick their finger on a regular basis and now have a device that, while it's invasive, they can put it on and it will last for 10 days or 2 weeks before it needs to be replaced. So when I look at the competitive landscape, I look at those legacy players. I also keep an eye on what I'll call the new entrants, the people that are doing what we're doing, trying to achieve a non-invasive solution. So, uh, and there are those out around the globe that are doing that. What I would say about where we stand in that landscape, we are today the #1 holder of intellectual property in the world as it relates to non-invasive glucose monitoring. And that was an assessment by a third party, an acknowledged global third party. So we've got a great position in terms of our intellectual property. We've got a great position in terms of what we're doing in the lab and our move toward a product that will come to market. And so, we think we're doing a great job with everything that we're focused on. To your point, there are competitors out there who are significant legacy players. And when you come in, when you're a disruptor, as we are, we're going to be disintermediating over time those legacy players, clearly.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really interesting point to lead me into what I want to discuss here on the market opportunity and the revenue side of this discussion, right? As you look at the glucose monitoring industry as a whole, $21 billion plus projected to reach $32.5 billion by 2030 alone. So as you look at this market opportunity here, as you mentioned, with the intellectual property that you have and your proprietary approach, what do you think you're going to be able to carve out in terms of a market share? As esoteric as that may be right now, what do you think the market opportunity is for you guys at No Lab specifically?
Well, okay, you're right, Michael. This is a big addressable market. There are probably more than 500 million people with type 1 and type 2 diabetes in the world today, something like 10% of the U.S. population alone. So these are big numbers. But I want to add to that the pre-diabetes market. There are experts that say that the pre-diabetes market is 2.5 to 3 times the size of the market of those people that suffer from diabetes. So let's call that a billion and a half out there in the world who have pre-diabetes. They are unlikely to prick their finger, and they're unlikely also to get a prescription for a Dexcom or an Abbott Labs. If we can come to market with an inexpensive, non-invasive solution, I think that our addressable market includes that big pre-diabetes population, at least a portion of it, who with better information can obviate the transition to full-blown diabetes. So it's a big market. Now, in terms of the scale, you and I could both do the numbers. It takes a very modest percentage of that global market to build a really robust revenue stream. We do intend to come to market with a very competitive price point that is less than Dexcom, Abbott Labs, and candidly, on an annual basis, less than Fingerstick. Fingersticks cost $1. They come in bags of 100. Now, insurance covers a lot of that, but if people are pricking their finger 3 to 4 times a day, and there are 15 million people in America doing that today, that's a big number. So we intend to come to market with something that is very cost conscious and will on an annual basis cost less than the legacy players cost today.
Absolutely. Now, Erickson, you also talked a little bit in one of the big things as far as a priority for you guys in 2023 is prioritizing that peer-reviewed external validation of your bio-RFID technology. That's going to contribute to a growing body of evidence. And we looked at some of the research here from your validation page on the website talking about this peer-reviewed analysis. How important is that for you guys moving forward? And what should people be looking for and paying attention to about this research as well?
Well, I think obviously third-party validation, when you're doing something new and unique and no one's done it before, there are a lot of doubters. So what we want to do is basically simply to put a stake in the ground and say, this really does work. And the way we know that, but to get third-party validation, it's a proof point that really, I think, can allow people to appreciate that what we're doing is really profound and does work. So I think that's a big part of it. Now, as we work on that third-party validation, I want people to be alert to kind of, what do those results really look like? And what we're now starting to see are what I call FDA clearance quality results. So that's a big deal. In other words, as compared to the gold standard, as compared to what's required to get FDA clinical approval, how do we stack up? So people should look at that. And, we're really transparent about our results and about our data. And so we want people to look at what we're doing, see how it stacks up with FDA clearance quality standards, and we're going to be meeting those. We're going to be exceeding those over time, and so that's something to pay attention to.
Absolutely. And let's look at the other parts of the business as well, right? If you talk about, your priorities when it comes to peer-reviewed research, with the testing that you guys are doing right now, what other things should retail investors specifically be looking at when it comes to progress, but also milestones that you guys want to achieve at No Labs over the rest of this year and beyond into 2024?
Well, one of the things I think about, there are people that ask me all the time, when are you going to be in front of the FDA? When are you, because people want to have exacting timelines. And what I'll say is that, and we certainly experienced this during COVID, that there are things that happen in life that disrupt the best laid plans of mice and men, right? And COVID was certainly one of them. And I think another one is when you're dealing with third parties in a busy world, and some of the fallout from COVID, supply chain issues. There are issues that arise that in spite of your best plans, get in the way of those timelines. So we've been avoiding timelines. But what we will say is we want you to look at the various work streams that we've articulated here previously. Third-party validation, that's going to be evidence of increasing results that lead toward the FDA and ultimate FDA clearance. So pay attention to that. Look for a form factor that look for a first generation prototype, because ultimately you have to go to market with something, and you have to look for a working prototype, which would be a generation 1, let's call it, and then over time that'll iterate. There'll be future generations, so it will begin to work on the product side toward something that we can take to the FDA and ultimately then take to the global marketplace. I think another leg of the stool is, as I indicated, we're the number one holder of intellectual property as it relates to non-invasive blood glucose monitoring in the world. I think you can expect that we will continue to do that, continue to expand on the IP base. We just announced with our most recent quarterly results and at our earnings call that we had at that point in time 159 patents pending and issued. So it's a big body of intellectual property. I want to add to that our trade secrets, which are another leg of the intellectual property stool. And those are our algorithms driven by artificial intelligence and machine learning that allow us to take this growing body of raw data and get these results, identify glucose, and get to FDA clearance quality results. So we're going to be working on expanding those. So I'd say, and as we do that, we're going to be making announcements so people can just, stand by to learn more about validation, data collection, the development of prototypical device, expanding the IP base, all of which will lead to a move toward the FDA and then full-blown clinical trials and approval of our technology for the global marketplace, or the US marketplace initially, and then obviously following on to other jurisdictions. So that's what I'd have people look at. And I think that you'll see steady movement over the course of this year and into 24 on those work streams.
Without a doubt, a lot to keep an eye on here as you guys move into the future. The information we got, the conversation we've been able to have, it's always a pleasure getting this inside look, especially at companies like you guys taking an innovative approach to your industry. So we certainly look forward to seeing what's coming next. Mr. Ron Erickson, Chairman and CEO at No Labs, it's been our pleasure to host you here on Benzinga All Access. Thank you so much for joining us.
Michael, absolutely. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. Mr. Ron Erickson, their chairman and CEO of No Labs, joining us, the ticker symbol, of course, KNW, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Our pleasure to be able to host Mr. Erickson and learn a little bit more about what No Labs is doing. We look forward to the next conversation and the next Benzinga All Access.